Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 9 of Mel Goes Wild. As part of our new series entitled Happy Campers, today's episode is all about sleeping pads, or you can also call them sleeping mats. Sleeping pads are often overlooked when you're buying your camping gear, but to be honest, they're actually essential in making sure that you have an enjoyable and comfortable night's sleep when you're outdoors. Sleeping pads have two main functions: insulation and comfort. These are actually important factors to consider because they actually provide you with a barrier between the cold, hard and uneven ground. While your sleeping bag protects you from losing body heat to the air, the ground actually conducts heat away from you at a much faster rate. This is why following the correct sleeping system is important. Your sleep system consists of 3 basic components, and pairing these correctly will ensure you stay warm and comfortable as you sleep. When choosing your sleeping mat, there are a few factors to consider: the comfort, the warmth, the ease of blowing up your sleeping mat, the size of it, and the weight of it. So to help you decide which mat is actually suitable for your needs, I want you to answer these few questions. Number 1, what are you using it for? So will you be using it for backpacking or through hiking or winter camping? Number 2, what time of year will you use it? Number 3, is your backpack weight a concern? And 4, is space important? Before I share the different types of sleeping mats that are on offer, there are actually a few key terms that will make your shopping experience a little easier. A sleeping pad's OR value measures its capacity and ability to resist heat loss to the ground and insulate its user from it. So the higher the OR value, the more thermally resistant a mat is, and therefore warmer. This insulation is measured on a scale from 0 to 6. So the higher the OR value, the warmer it will be. Insulation. A sleeping pad's insulation is sometimes overlooked, but it's actually crucial to a warm night's sleep. This is because you lose body heat to the cold ground beneath you. That's why pads use a variety of materials and construction techniques to prevent heat loss. So for example, some sleeping pads feature a heat-reflective material in their construction, which directs body heat back towards you rather than transferring it into the ground. Do you remember in the last episode of Mel Goes Wild when I was talking everything to do with sleeping bags and I started to go on about temperature ratings? Well, temperature ratings only really work with the assumption that you are actually using a sleeping pad or a sleeping mat when you are going out camping. So basically, without a sleeping pad, your sleeping bag will not live up to its temperature rating. Something else to note, a sleeping bag's test rating is only based on if you're wearing long underwear and socks while you're in your sleeping bag and you're actually laying on an insulated pad that has an OR rating of 5.5 or above. So the types of sleeping pads. Before we get into that though, you should consider that when you are buying your sleeping pad, that the OR value of that sleeping pad reflects the type of activity that you're going to be doing. So for example, if you're going to be going for winter camps, then you're going to need a higher level OR rating. Air pads now usually contain insulation and/or reflective materials to increase warmth. Many air pads feature alternative inflation methods so you can save your breath. Some pros, they're lightweight. Some cons, they're more expensive the lighter and more compact they are. Self-inflating pads are a combination of foam and air. They inflate automatically when you open the valve. They are filled with foam containing tiny pockets that expand, pull and trap the air to provide cushioning from the ground. As they are self-inflating, it can sometimes help just to breathe a couple of additional puffs of air to achieve your desired firmness. Some pros, they're comfortable. Some cons, they can be heavier and more expensive. Closed cell foam, also known as roll mats. These are a basic sleeping pad made of dense foam filled with tiny closed air cells. They are usually rolled up or folded into a Z formation. They will often have a metallic heat-reflective layer on one side of the pad to provide extra warmth. Some pros, they are super duper lightweight, and some cons, they're just not as comfortable as they lack cushioning. Airbeds are your traditional inflatable mattress. You would probably use these for festivals or car camping, as they are quite large in size. Some pros, they're thick in size and they're comfortable, making them the closest option to your bed at home. Some cons, they're big, bulky and heavy. Some manufacturers actually make women-specific sleeping mats. That's because women need more insulation around the torso and around our feet. Okay, sleeping pad weight. Why is this important? So, if you are a through hiker or you're planning on doing a long distance hike and you're having to carry loads and loads of equipment, you want the gear that you're bringing with you light, pretty much. You're going to want it lightweight because if you're carrying heavy gear, your sleeping bag and your mat and your tent, you're going to try and save weight where you can. And that's why some through hikers or long distance hikers do kind of go for ultra light gear. So sleeping pad length and width. This should pretty much directly correlate with your own height and your own width. What's great is when you go into an outdoor store, they can actually fit you like the way that they fit you for hiking boots or sleeping bags. They can actually fit you for the correct type of sleeping mat. So what's also great is Thermarest, which are a fantastic brand. They're manufactured in Ireland. They now have inclusive sizing of mats for all shapes and sizes. Some additional sleeping pad considerations. Hand pumps. If you don't like expending breath after a long day of hiking, look for a pad with an integrated hand pump or purchase a bag style hand pump that rolls up small and weighs only a couple of ounces. Patch kits are a good idea for backpacking. Find out whether they come with the pad or they're sold separately. Be sure to understand how to patch a puncture before you leave your house. If you're heading out in particularly cold temperatures, it's worth adding an extra mat to provide additional insulation. So a foam mat underneath a self-inflating or air-filled mat is perfect for this. Something I would recommend doing is trying them on in person. To make your final decision, try to visit your local outdoor adventurous store, obviously when things reopen, and test a few different pads. So lie down in your typical sleeping position and move around as you normally would. Seeing pads and trying them on in person allows you to easily assess weight and pack size. Remember that when you are buying your sleeping pad, we all experience the outdoors differently and we all sleep in different ways and positions, and we're all different shapes and sizes. It's like, for example, for me, when I spend time outdoors camping or long distance hiking, I want to have a mat that is comfortable, provides me with all of the warmth, and I also want it to be really, really light. So for me, there is a specific type of sleeping mat that's going to suit my needs that probably won't suit yours. So just bear that in mind that yes, we all experience the outdoors differently. So when you do go in to an outdoor store, chat to the staff there, like they're full of knowledge and they'll be able to recommend the type of sleeping mat that is best suited to your type of needs. My top tip this week. To prevent moisture buildup in your pad, store your pad unrolled with valves open. As always, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I really, really, really appreciate the support. I appreciate all the feedback, the love, the comments, the reshares. If you did enjoy this video, all that I ask is that you subscribe to the channel, that you either like the episode or just drop a simple love heart in the comments below. It just kind of helps me continue to produce these videos for you for free. If you enjoy and find these videos helpful in any way, you can choose to support me by becoming a patron. If you would like to become a patron, then head to my page at patreon.com/galsgonewild with an underscore at the end. You can also find me and our Gals Gone Wild community on Instagram. You can contact me for partnerships, or if you have any questions, please do email me at mel@galsgonewild.com. And you can see more of what Gals Gone Wild is all about on our website, galsgonewild.com. And until next week, make sure to get outdoors and go wild.